Next.
On World News Tonight this Tuesday, impeachment, a bombing campaign, a global economic crisis. None of it seems to slow down the U.S. economy. This is the first full day of winter, and a very bad day it was in much of the country. Kids and computers, babies wired before they can walk. We'll take a closer look. And the giant king of a tiny nation on a fitness crusade.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. When the Federal Reserve Board met in Washington today, it decided there was no need to adjust interest rates again. The economy was doing so well. It was another good day on Wall Street. No apparent fallout from impeachment or the U.S. attack against Iraq there. The Dow Jones was up 55 points today. In fact, almost everywhere you turn in the country today, there is unrestrained confidence, which is where we begin tonight. Here's ABC's Morton Dean.
Investors' faith in the economy appears unshakable. Just ask anyone at the mall.
Bill Clinton or no Bill Clinton, you're in the market.
I'm in the market, right.
Saddam Hussein or no Saddam Hussein.
I'm in the market.
Unless some unpredictable economic cyclone roars through Wall Street in the next week or so, 1998 will be another year of unprecedented gains. Standard & Poor's index of 500 stocks up more than 20% for the fourth consecutive year.
I'm in it for long term. I figured I'd get some money in there, make a nice little nest egg for myself, for the future wife, for the future kids, and it's the best way to go, actually.
And it's the way to go for more and more Americans. In mutual funds alone, 25% more Americans are investing now than 5 years ago. Even in August and September, when the Dow plunged, investors shopping for bargains responded by putting more money into stocks than they took out. It's all part of an interconnected, feel-good economy. Unemployment at a 3-decade low, interest rates down, incomes up, and consumer confidence a record high this year. Ask investors about their plans and expectations for next year, and the answer is almost unanimous. More of the same. Morton Dean, ABC News, New York.
However, and you'd expect that from us, for all the enthusiasm about the economy, millions of Americans would rue the day if it stumbled. The savings rate in the United States is now the lowest it has been since the Great Depression of the 1930s. So many Americans are spending more than they make. There is not much cushion there. Still, for the most part, look around you. Millions of Americans who've had a very good year are getting on with the slightly frantic business of Christmas. This is the busiest day of the year for United Parcel Service. Today, UPS alone expects to handle more than 17 million parcels, which means it's going to be another staggeringly busy night in Memphis, Tennessee. ABC's Michelle Norris reports tonight from a city so central to American commerce.
While the rest of the country is sleeping, Memphis is on the move, moving cargo, packing it in, loading it up, shipping it out.
Memphis is distributing their products and their supplies so that they can start work in the morning and so that they can have the package or the present that their children want.
Memphis International is now the world's busiest cargo airport. It handles more shipments than JFK, LAX, or even Hong Kong, mainly because FedEx and UPS both have major distribution centers here. The city is also home to the fourth largest inland port, more than 200 truck terminals, massive railroad yards, and 130 million square feet of warehouse space.
Before the holidays are over, not just millions, but tens of millions of packages will pass through facilities like this here in Memphis. Why Memphis? It's all about location.
Memphis is located at an important crossroads. It's on the Mississippi, a point where 4 of the nation's top railroads converge, and the spot where major east-west and north-south highways intersect.
We can reach 75% of the nation's market overnight out of Memphis by truck, and we can reach the world overnight by air.
That means a business like this computer repair center can ship products as late as midnight with guaranteed delivery the next day.
Memphis is the perfect location for this kind of business.
Many of the nation's top retailers agree. Dozens have opened warehouse distribution centers in Memphis to take advantage of the late shipping schedule. a factor that is increasingly important as more Americans rely on overnight delivery service.
Speed is certainly a competitive advantage for companies, and people don't want to wait.
So next time you do some holiday shopping, whether it's at the mall or by catalog or even on the internet, just remember one thing. Santa Claus may live in the North Pole, but some of his busiest elves work in the heart of Tennessee. Michelle Norris, ABC News, Memphis.
When we come back, winter is here, and it's serious.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Theraflu.
Teddy Gibbs can't let a sore throat stop him, even when it feels this raw. He toughs it out through the hacking cough, the aches, the fever. But when the job is done, he's desperate for fast, powerful Theraflu relief. With the first sip of that soothing lemony hot liquid, he feels comfort instantly. Soon his throat feels calmed, his cough quieted. Maximum strength Theraflu, now in new cherry sore throat and cough. Instant comfort, powerful relief.
This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million. The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now, bigger than ever.
Cool. So, you're a little extreme? Walking is boring? The ground is the competition? And this is your idea of climbing the company ladder? Well, lucky for you, it's the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. Because right now, you can get a Chevy S10, the compact pickup designed for your rugged lifestyle, and get either low 0.9% APR financing or big cash back. So, if you're looking for something extreme, fly, ski, jump, or drop on into your Chevy dealer and make your money count. It's a season for you.
Winter has arrived right on schedule in most of the country and made a rather dramatic entrance. In Nashville last night, it fell 29 degrees in an hour. On the East Coast, it was still warm this morning, but if you haven't been outside since then, you're going to be surprised. From the Pacific Northwest down to Texas and on to the Great Lakes, it is cold. Here's ABC's Dean Reynolds.
The cold snap and icy conditions that followed are blamed for dozens of traffic deaths. The nation was caught flat-footed by the Arctic blast, plunging headlong into winter, literally overnight. The deep freeze and chilling winds made fighting this high-rise fire in Detroit today that much more difficult. And with the wind chill in Chicago this morning of 33 below, some unusual steps had to be taken.
Your dog has boots on.
Yes, he does. Temperatures dropped 50 degrees during the night in some places, and snow fell from Texas to Michigan.
I have my heavy parka. I've got a sweater on underneath. I've got my scarf underneath this. This is down. My gloves are insulated. I'm still very cold.
The West felt the freeze first. There was heavy snow in Portland, Oregon, and the prospect of a white Christmas in Seattle. But frozen freeways brought no Christmas joy to Southern California, nor to the San Joaquin Valley, where farmers said ice was threatening their citrus crop. Since Thanksgiving, people in much of the nation have been basking in milder than usual temperatures and asking themselves when winter would come. Well, the answer came today. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Chicago.
Other news today at midnight this evening, wherever you live, the government begins enforcing regulations that may force thousands of small gas stations across the country to close. The government requires stations to upgrade or replace their old underground fuel tanks. And even though gas station owners have had years to comply, many may not meet the deadline. Here's ABC's Judy Muller.
This is the problem. Rusting underground storage tanks at gas stations and other facilities. Tanks that leak fuel and harmful additives into the groundwater and pollute drinking supplies.
There have been stories reported of people literally turning on their faucets and an odor of gasoline coming out of the faucet because a tank has leaked.
Of the 892,000 tanks currently in operation in the United States, the Environmental Protection Agency says about 392,000, or 42%, still need to be upgraded or replaced. While most of the major oil companies have complied with the law at stations they own, thousands of so-called mom-and-pop gas stations have found the cost prohibitive.
We didn't want to spend $300,000 over here, so we didn't do it.
And so, on this deadline day, many of them are going out of business.
The federal government says it will give smaller operations more time to comply.
But some states, like California, say stations already have had 10 years to comply, so they're enforcing the deadline now.
I've been on this corner for 30 years. It's a very sad day when I can tell my customer, gee, I'm sorry, but I can't pump gas to you anymore.
For consumers in rural areas, the closing of small stations could be critical, forcing residents to drive long distances to get fuel, not to mention the loss of the personal touch.
This is kind of the last of the independence where you can get your windshield wiped, and your tires checked.
But for most Americans, a little less convenience getting to a pump should mean getting safer water from the faucet. Judy Muller, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The Ford Motor Company has decided to recall more than 3 million vehicles, some Taurus, some Sables, and some Lincoln Continentals. There are concerns about possible steering difficulties. An affiliate of R.J. Reynolds pleaded guilty today to running a smuggling operation to sell its own cigarettes on the black market in Canada, where cigarettes are very expensive. The company agreed to pay a $15 million fine. In Houston, the good news from the Children's Hospital, one of the octuplets, the girl baby A, is off a ventilator tonight. Doctors say that all 8 children, A through H, are still in critical condition. In a moment, the President and the Senate.
This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million.
Hey, Todd, can you give me a hand?
The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now,
the self-service for the birds.
Bigger than ever.
It hurts so bad. That burning sensation. So I saw my doctor. He said where heartburn hurts most is where Mylanta works fast. All down through here where you want help fast. My doctor said Mylanta.
I want to keep my smile for life, don't you? But everybody has plaque, the leading cause of gum disease. 3 out of 4 people will have some form of gum disease in their lifetime. You can do something about it. Interplaque by Conair is clinically proven to remove nearly all plaque, even below the gum line. Its unique cleaning action can actually reverse gum disease. And now the totally cordless Odyssey, clutter-free. Recharge in any outlet in as little as 10 minutes. ADA accepted Interplaque by Conair. Keep your smile for life.
One word convinced me, and herbal could help me maintain emotional balance. Centrum.
One name means an advance in herbals to help maintain memory.
This winter, I'm taking the only herbal backed by Centrum Science.
Introducing Centrum Herbals. Some other brands can be missing natural ingredients because herbals can vary from plant to plant, dose to dose. Only Centrum uses Pharma Print to guarantee a more complete herbal every time.
One word can help make a difference in your health.
6 individual Centrum Herbals, naturally more complete.
How are these? Bigger. This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million. Bigger. The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now, bigger than ever.
Out here, am I supposed to say, slow down, I'm constipated? I don't think so. So I rely on doctor-recommended Metamucil. Works with my body, gently, which is important to a sensitive guy like myself.
In Washington today, trying to have it both ways. It's now the Senate's job to decide President Clinton's fate, and now in subtle ways, senators are getting pressure from just about everywhere, including, ironically, from 4 House Republicans who voted for impeachment, but now think that censure might be a good idea. Here's ABC's Linda Douglas.
The articles of impeachment passed by the House declare that the president's actions warrant removal from office. But at least 4 Republicans who voted for that now say they don't necessarily want it to happen. In a letter to Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott, Delaware's Mike Castle, New York's Sherwood Boehlert, New York's Ben Gilman, and Pennsylvania's Jim Greenwood urged the Senate to consider a tough censure proposal instead of removal from office, taking into account the will of the American voter. Why the change? Some accuse them of reacting to negative public opinion, but one insists it is just a matter of not wanting Mr. Clinton to get off scot-free in the Senate.
And I think the worst thing that could happen at the end of this whole sordid process would be for the Senate, after a torturous trial, to then either adjourn the trial with no consequences to the president or vote for acquittal.
Republican senators brushed off the congressman.
But, gee, they voted for that, and I'm a little surprised to get the letter, frankly. But I don't think it'll have a great deal of impact.
It seems clear the congressmen are getting on a train that seems to be picking up steam.
There are not the votes to convict this president for impeachment. There are the votes to censure this president.
But the censure train stops at the door of Majority Leader Lott, who has told people he will not address the issue until after the holidays. Lott has gone home for Christmas and taken his phone off the hook.
The mailbox belonging to
Trent Lott
is full. Goodbye.
Linda Douglas, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
The balloonist trying to circle the world reached central China today and heard welcome news. British and American diplomats convinced the Chinese to allow the balloon to continue through Chinese airspace. The team is hoping to reach the U.S. by Christmas and finish, all being well, around New Year's. The U.S. Olympic Committee has launched an investigation of its own into those allegations that Salt Lake City paid bribes to get the 2002 Winter Games. The committee has named former Senator George Mitchell to lead the investigation. Major sponsors, including U.S. West, are upset by what they call the unsavory allegations. When we come back, too young for a computer? We'll take a closer look.
When we were traveling cross country, we stopped at a place. They had the business channel. We started watching, and the market was going down, and we said, there are these stocks we wanted to buy, and from the road we called up.
Called Schwab because we didn't have a phone modem in the motorhome, so we couldn't trade online. Where were we?
Utah.
Utah.
We were in Utah.
On a payphone, talking to Schwab,
Trying to get.
buying the stocks. There was a feeling of exhilaration. Hey, we've done it. You've committed to it. Then we got back in the motorhome and traveled on our way.
And those purchases have
done very well.
All right. There's one thing everybody in Washington can agree on.
That would be?
There's more heartburn than ever.
And more Republicans.
And more burning and more pressure.
More pain.
Yeah, and it's time someone did more about it, too.
Alka-Seltzer does more, with more medicines than any antacid to speed more relief to your worst heartburn and pain.
Yeah, Alka-Seltzer. This country deserves more.
You sound like a Democrat.
Democrats just promise more. How does this marriage last?
Alka-Seltzer, the more medicine heartburn medicine.
Turret change complete.
4 degrees east and stop.
Check. Focal length extended.
Oh my.
You've seen something?
Nope, just those darn fingerprints on my glasses again. Keep scanning.
Don't miss Ed's Head because you could win $11 million in the American Family Sweepstakes. Enter now.
Want to have a party? Want to make a splash? Get a holiday party platter from Red Lobster. Shrimp, crab claws, and more. Ready to go in an hour. Escape to Red Lobster for your party platter.
Americans love to travel. From the East Coast to the West Coast, even the Midwest. But we don't like spending a lot of money getting around. During the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event, you get the best of both worlds. The Chevy Malibu, the car you knew America could build. It can travel up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. And now it comes with low 0.9% APR financing or big cash back. So if you want to see a lot without spending a lot, get to your Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. It's the season for you.
Tonight we're going to take a closer look at how young is too young for children to begin using computers. Those of us in the other generations are amazed at how easy it is for children to use computers. There's even a new category of software targeted at children 18 months and younger, and there isn't much younger you can get. Question is this really the best thing for young children? Here's ABC's Gina Smith.
Jessica Barton turned 1 this month, but she's already spent more hours in front of a computer than many Americans have in a lifetime.
She reacts to the singing, the music, the animals, the characters with large faces and big eyes.
It's the first generation of wired babies.
Connect the dots to make a picture.
But how young is too young to put a baby in front of a computer? Child psychologist Will Staso says there is no age limit. He even backs this company's claim that its software, Baby Wow, makes kids smarter.
Well, I think that presenting to infants information that can expand their informational base, their knowledge base, can have a positive effect on their developing intelligence.
The program Baby Wow, he explains, plays sounds in several languages.
Sounds that maybe the child can't hear in the normal environment.
Other experts are skeptical.
Are we helping the child, or are we selling software?
Child psychologist Robert Butterworth worries the software might tempt overeager parents into pushing their babies too far.
The research shows that children learn at their own pace. They know when they're overloaded, and they look away and they go on to something else.
Purple. Papa.
Good job.
Then the one.
Because many parents attach so much importance to the computer, they might pressure the child to keep at it.
And push the child to the point where we could start raising neurotic babies.
Psychologists on both sides agree that as long as the experience is pressure-free, computers can be stimulating for babies. But they do remind us, so can a really good picture book.
You know this story, don't you? Yeah.
Gina Smith, ABC News, New York.
There is, of course, a Christmas tie-in here. These software packages are doing very well this holiday season. Anything with a chip in it is selling like, well, hotcakes, to sound old-fashioned. Bad news for Barbie and other old-fashioned toys. ABC's Jack Smith reports tonight on the cutting edge of Christmas.
In today's high-tech world, this Christmas, it is high-tech toys that are hot. And this man who is Santa Claus. The man at Intel, the world's largest chip maker, who figures out ways to use those chips in toys.
Squeeze my toe and play a game.
So that you have that intelligence of the PC to make your toy seem a lot smarter than it might otherwise be, or be cost affordable.
You know what we do? We invent toys.
A revolution is underway as toy makers increasingly link their products to the home computer. And toys that just a year ago were in the lab today are already in stores. Example, this Lego robot kit, complete with sensors and chips. Program the robot you build from your home computer and watch it do everything from shuffle cards to play bumper cars with your friends. A Barbie digital camera that downloads into the family PC so scrapbooks or postcards can be edited.
Ready, go!
And smart stuffed animals that are programmed from the PC to do what you want and even to know who you are.
Very good choice, Jackson. I'm so glad you were here to help me.
There's even software that lets kids use the internet to play board games with friends who can be 1,000 miles away.
Is it your turn?
And the future?
Did you ever see a lassie?
Toys will behave more like humans, and, say scientists, think of the growing power of the internet.
And then try to imagine what it might be like if something like a soccer ball kept score and sent the scores to the grandparents, or a teddy bear transmitted a hug around the world. Those things are possible.
And probably will happen, maybe next year. Jack Smith, ABC News, Washington.
Scary. When we come back, lose weight and win a toaster the Tonga way.
It's my wife. I left her sitting right here.
How long has she been gone?
You don't think?
Aha.
What?
Checked out Red Hot Harry's?
No way. Lucinda gets really bad heartburn.
Not anymore, she doesn't.
What's that?
Looks like the remains of an individually wrapped Pepsid AC chewable.
Introducing Pepsid AC Chewables, the first chewable to stop heartburn before it starts.
Lucinda? Is that you?
Start living heartburn-free with new Pepsid AC Chewables.
This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million.
Got the roses.
The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now, bigger than ever.
Gesundheit.
Sanding any surface that isn't flat is back-breaking work for hands. But the Dremel Contour Sander gives hands a break. With interchangeable contours, you get a hand finish without the hand work. The Dremel Contour Sander, hands just can't say enough good things about it.
Teddy Gibbs can't let a sore throat stop him, even when it feels this raw. He toughs it out through the hacking cough, the aches, the fever. But when the job is done, he's desperate for fast, powerful Theraflu relief. With the first sip of that soothing lemony hot liquid, he feels comfort instantly. Soon his throat feels calm, his cough quieted. Maximum strength Theraflu, now in new cherry sore throat and cough. Instant comfort, powerful relief.
Imagine 10 of the most fascinating people in one place.
You are not considered sexy.
I embrace that fact, so therefore that kind of makes me kind of sexy, don't you think?
Who will be revealed this year's most fascinating person? Find out when Barbara Walters presents ABC Tonight, 10/9 Central.
A brief review of our main story tonight. Remarkable confidence in the economy. Things are going so well that the Federal Reserve decided not to change short-term interest rates when they met today. The benchmark S&P 500 stock index is almost certain to be up more than 24% for the fourth year in a row. Finally from us this evening, the royal obsession. We're going to visit the King of Tonga in the South Pacific. When he was crowned in 1967 on his 49th birthday, they roasted 71,000 suckling pigs, which is a clue to the fact that the people of Tonga like their food. Now, the King of Tonga is an enlightened man. And so, when ABC's Mike Lee made his most recent journey to one of the Four Corners, he found a monarch on a mission.
This is about the last place on Earth you'd expect to find a lifestyle crisis. The beautiful South Pacific. Happy people. Plenty of food. The problem is it's mostly a high-fat American diet, introduced after Christian missionaries arrived here 176 years ago. So the King of Tonga, Tupou IV, no stranger to imported American corned beef, mashed potatoes, and pudding, has decided to lead the way out of Tonga's health crisis by getting fit. Here he is a few years ago, a self-proclaimed 400 pounds. And here he is today, down to 300 pounds, he says, and still losing.
I realized I wasn't eating the right food or getting enough sleep or doing the right things, and I felt a little guilty about it. So I reformed my own life.
The king has put himself on a low-fat diet and exercises 5 days a week, a serious 2-hour workout with heavy weights. Oh, and by the way, he's 80 years old. Yes, 80 years old.
The King of Tonga is not content with just dropping the odd 150 to 200 pounds. He also wants his subjects to be thin. Much easier said than done.
After all, Tongans are not under a lot of social pressure to be small.
What kind of Tongan woman do men like?
To help motivate Tongans, the king has been sponsoring a series of national weight loss competitions. Thousands are trying to diet or sweat off enough calories to qualify for a new car or TV or toaster. His Majesty hopes to eventually bottom out at a sleek 250 pounds. Struggling against America's high-calorie legacy in the South Pacific. Mike Lee, ABC News, Tonga.
That is our report on World News Tonight. Don't forget Nightline later. They're going to deal with charter schools tonight. The idea was supposed to be better schools. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening. Good night.
Tomorrow, the holidays, sacred or secular. Does the First Amendment force the government to take religion out of Christmas? Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now always on.
Take the journey with the most widely acclaimed new series on television, Sports Night.
Sports Night is a home run.
A total original.
It's funny,
Emotional.
intelligent,
As good as it gets.
hits its target.
The smartest new show of the season.
What else can we say?
It's on tonight, 9:30, 8:30 Central, following Spin City, here on ABC.
See you there.
Now, News 2 at 6. First, fast, accurate.
Just got my long johns on and walk up and down and wave this sign.
Middle Tennesseans bundle up for a blast from Old Man Winter. Good evening, everyone. The Arctic blast came in fast and furious last night.
And it appears to be here to stay. Let's go straight to News 2's Davis Nolan, who's in the Storm Center. Davis?
Well, Brett and Ann, last night we watched the temperature drop about 29 degrees between 9 and 10 o'clock. And by this morning when it was 22, which it is now, by the way, we dropped 47 degrees from yesterday's high. Can you believe that? 22 right now also in Jackson and 23 in Memphis. Obviously, the cold...
To loosen up or let up a little bit west of Nashville, but you can see for I-40 East,